Every act of corruption and economic and financial crimes you commit, know that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has a way of tracing it back to you. Stay away from all acts of corruption for a better Nigeria. My name is Aisha Gambari, welcoming you to another edition of the program, The Eagle, created by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to bring you updates of activities within and outside the Commission. On today's edition of the program, it is a rain of accolades for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, as the Commission received several awards for its unrelenting efforts in the ongoing war against corruption in Nigeria. One of such awards was handed to the Commission at the colorful award dinner ceremony organized by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the Code of Conduct Bureau at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Take a look at the report. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, was recognized for best service delivery and outstanding performance. Acting Chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, received the award on February 13, 2018, at the colorful award dinner ceremony attended by Nigerians from all walks of life. The ceremony, which was tagged Integrity and Service Award Night, was organized to recognize public servants who have distinguished themselves in their various fields and have served the nation selflessly with integrity. The Commission was recognized for its commitment towards eradicating corruption in Nigeria, which is one of the cardinal objectives of the present administration. Receiving the award, Magu thanked the organizers for the recognition and promised that the Commission will continue to dedicate itself to the war against corruption in the country.
The award is for service delivery and outstanding performance. Congratulations, EFCC. I present to you the acting chairman himself, stepping forward to collect the award. Brian Magu there for you. Congratulations.
Other recipients at the award dinner include the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Globacom Telecommunications, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, and the Ministries of Defense and Agriculture, amongst others. State governors who have performed excellently well in their various states were also rewarded. They include Umar Tanko Al-Makura of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State, and Jibrila Bindo of Adamawa State, amongst others. One of the highlights at the event was a cultural dance performance by the One Nigerian Cultural Troupe. In a similar vein, the Commission was also decorated with an award in recognition of its sustained support for road safety management in Nigeria by the Federal Road Safety Commission. The award ceremony, which took place at the Nigerian Air Force Conference Center in Abuja, was part of activities marking the 30th anniversary of the Federal Road Safety Commission. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who presented the award to the EFCC, noted that It was in recognition of the Commission's immense contribution and partnership towards ensuring safer roads in Nigeria. The EFCC acting chairman Ibrahim Magu, who was represented at the occasion by Abdurrahman Katsina, thanked the Federal Road Safety Commission for the award and assured that the EFCC would continue to collaborate and support the work of the Commission with a view to reduce accidents on the highways to the barest minimum.
The EFCC for your sustained support for road safety management in Nigeria. Congratulations.
The event featured a cultural display by the Divine Cultural Group. Congratulations to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for the well-deserved commendations. Still to come, in recognition of his track record in the fight against corruption, acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has received the Operations Management Man of the Year award from the Chartered Institute of Operations Management of Nigeria. Here are the details. Martin Iwanunu, registrar of the institute, who presented the award at the EFCC head office in Abuja, described Magu as a fearless fighter whose record of achievements in corruption fight is unparalleled. While showering encomiums on Magu, Iwanunu said under his leadership, corruption has been curtailed and demystified, making it practically difficult for anyone in Nigeria to get involved in corrupt practices without having a second thought. He said the fear of the EFCC is the beginning of wisdom in the country, as it doesn't matter who you are, the anti-graft agency will go after you and get you once you have your hands soiled in corruption.
We, for the Institute of Operations Management, we are solidly behind you, sir. We are solidly behind you because operations in every industry looks like the engine. If you go to where they're manufacturing things in Coca-Cola, Lever Brothers, they don't play much emphasis in what they call supportive staffs, the people in admin and all that. They play much emphasis in those in operations departments. Those are the places, because of them they produce what they call shiftings, that they work 12 hours, 24 hours, and it's because of them equally they bring what they call feeding system into the industries. If you go to manufacturing industries, they work in 4 hours because of operations staff. So we in operations management, the Institute TSI, we are solidly behind you, and we appreciate all you have done and all you are doing, and we say you should continue, sir.
Iwanunu said the anti-corruption fight of the present administration had earned the country great respect and honor before the international community, adding that the man steering the ship of the fight also deserved to be honored for doing a great but delicate job.
Has by authority of the Institute Council been awarded Operations Management Man of the Year 2017 Meritorious Honors Award for Anti-Corruption and Transparency.
Responding, the EFCC acting chairman urged members of the institute and indeed all Nigerians to abhor corruption, adding that corruption retards the progress of the nation. He said all support is needed to tame the monster if the country must move forward.
Every Nigerian has a responsibility to deal with the devil because it's an evil. It's the cause of every problem of this country. Even the cancer is caused by corruption. So we all have the responsibility to fight corruption.
Glad to know you're still there. And if you have just joined us, the program is The Eagle, which is a chronicle of activities within and outside the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Please follow the EFCC on Twitter at Official EFCC. Like our page on Facebook.com/Official EFCC. We're also on Instagram at Official EFCC. And don't forget to watch our videos via YouTube.com/Official official EFCC. Next on the program, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has expressed its determination to collaborate with the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) in tackling corruption and exam malpractices with a view to promote excellence and merit in the country. This pledge was made when the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, paid a walking visit to the JAMB head office in Buhari, Abuja. Stay tuned. Magu commended JAMB for its giant strides, especially in being transparent in its activities, and called on other agencies of government to also make accountability and transparency their watchdog. He applauded the board for its support in facilitating the confirmation examinations of the EFCC staff. Describing corruption as a menace that leaves devastating effects on the socio-economic life of citizenry, the anti-graft czar said all hands must be on deck to cope the dreaded monster in order to secure a future for the younger generation.
We want to invite everybody to join us in the fight against corruption. The corruption is everywhere. You don't have to do it the way I do it. You have to find a way to fight corruption. Even if you are able to educate the younger ones at home, you are still fighting corruption. So, but there are areas with JAMB, we can collaborate with JAMB in the fight against corruption. I think in the areas of examination malpractice. This is not only the reason why I came here, I also came to thank you for the assistance JAMB has rendered us in arranging our confirmation exam and the next promotion exam. And I'm sure it has taken a lot of effort, a lot of resources in rendering those assistance. So that's why I came. But since I'm here, I want to beg everybody. Everybody has a responsibility in fighting corruption. Everybody has a responsibility, individually and collectively. Please, we must chase this monster out of this country. It's a disaster. We don't need it. It's an evil. We don't need it. Just do it the way you can. You don't have to do it the way I do. Chase it out. It must go. Because the evil has done a lot of damage to this country. A lot of destruction. Almost everything that is caused, every wrong thing in Nigeria is caused by corruption.
In his remark, Professor Ishak Oloyede, the registrar of JAMB, applauded Magu's efforts and courage in the fight against corruption despite all the odds. He noted that corruption fight is a Herculean task and a delicate job, especially in a society where corruption is endemic. He called on all patriots to join the EFCC in the fight against corruption.
It is my prayer that God will continue to raise in our society many people who will appreciate the enormous consequences of negative consequences of corruption on our society, and therefore be able to fight it in whatever form. As the chairman has rightly said, we don't need to fight it the same pattern. What is important is to be in the vanguard for fighting against what is bad. In our society here, it is something that we need now. In fact, I would say we need it yesterday because things have gone very, very bad. I have been associated one way or the other in my academic life with your commission, and I've done some work in my academic life with you, and I'm convinced that yes, we may be lamenting the level of corruption. If EFCC, ICPC have not been established at all, maybe by now the whole country will have been in a messier situation than we are. You have the commission has contributed greatly in at least creating a caution against just thinking that you can do it and go scot-free. There is fear. In Yoruba land where I come from, in those days when you are appointed into a position, the prayer is, wa fi lowo, wa fi bimo. That is, this position they have given you, God will make you to prosper in it. You build houses, you have more children, you have more wives. But today, during Buhari's administration, when you are appointed, the first thing is that is, you will never, God will not put you in trouble, because everybody is at least conscious of the fact that when you are in public office, you are closer to prison if you are not careful. And that is enough consciousness. It means that the generality of the people, without saying it in so many words, they are changing their narrative, they are changing their language, they are changing their greetings to show that, oh, if you are there, be careful, oh, be careful, everybody is looking at you. And I believe that is good for the crusade against corruption.
In another development, ahead of the 2019 general elections, the EFCC says it is determined to take the anti-corruption fight to the grassroots, as most politicians capitalize on the ignorance of the people in the local communities to buy votes. He gave this indication at the stakeholders meeting by African Peer Review Mechanism with the theme Governance and Election as it Affects Your Mandates, which held at the Savannah Center in Abuja. Magu, who spoke through Adegboyega Aremo, Secretary to the Commission, urged Nigerians to be wary of money-backed politicians who have the tendency to loot public treasury in a bid to recoup all the money expended on buying votes. He urged Nigerians of voting age to get their permanent voters' cards ready and ensure that people of questionable characters are not voted into power. The event was a joint collaboration with the new Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPAD, African Peer Review Mechanism, and the Savannah Center on Diplomacy, Democracy and Development, and it had stakeholders pulled from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, Ministry of Justice, and the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I say na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, we could fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, we could kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Naija, now we all know.
The director of the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCUML, Bamanga Bello, has said that money laundering and terrorist financing can harm the nation's economy and security if not checked. This was disclosed at the one-day workshop organized by the Nigerian Network of Non-Governmental Organizations in collaboration with the unit in Lagos. Stay tuned for more on this story. Bamanga Bello said the supervisory activities of SCUML with respect to the implementation of the anti-money laundering and combating of terrorism financing would protect and preserve the integrity of the sector. He said the issue of money laundering and terrorist financing should not be the concern of government, law enforcement agencies, and regulatory authorities alone, adding that the public and private sector, the business community, and even ordinary citizens must play a role in combating the menace. He said SCUML would not disrupt or inhibit non-profit organizations from carrying out their legitimate functions, but rather serves as a supervisory body to monitor the activities of the sector in accordance with the requirements of the Financial Action Task Force (FATF) Recommendation 8 and its imperative notes, which emphasizes that measures be adopted to protect non-profit organizations from abuse.
The Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCUML, is desirous and committed to partner with relevant stakeholders in the fight against money laundering and terrorist financing to enhance the overall AML safety regime of Nigeria. I therefore want to use this opportunity to commend the leadership of the Nigerian network of NGOs for collaborating with SCUMOL to deliver this workshop, which exemplifies the import of collaboration in the fight against the two scourges of money laundering and terrorism financing.
The SCUMOL boss also stated that the November 2017 Global Terrorism Index described Nigeria as the third most terrorized country in the world, which makes it imperative for the non-profit sectors in the country to be acquainted with the Nigerian AML and CFT measures in order to protect, detect and report timely and accurately terrorist financing activities in the country. He further seized the occasion to inform the participants that Nigeria was preparing for the next round of mutual evaluation review, which will be conducted by the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, GIABA, and the Financial Action Task Force, FATF. Also speaking, the Director, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, Francis Usani, said the workshop would not only help to educate the participants on their obligations and roles under the Nigerian AML and CFT regime, but also awaken their consciousness to the nexus between poor awareness to issues and the low capacity of the sector to combat the scourge of money laundering and terrorist financing. Usani, who was represented by the head strategic analysis, Feintola Salisu, also relayed the agency's readiness to support the achievement of an effective, comprehensive and balanced implementation of the Nigerian AML and CFT regime by providing the needed guidance through capacity building, provision of up-to-date AML and CFT typologies, and informed trend assessment studies.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
And that brings us to the end of this week's edition of The Eagle. We hope you continue to tune in as we bring you interesting updates about activities within the EFCC. Please don't forget to send your feedback to us via The Eagle at efccnigeria.org or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or Official EFCCNG@gmail.com. Like our page on facebook.com/Official EFCC and follow us on Twitter at Official EFCC. And to watch our programs, log on to youtube.com/Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Gambari. Thank you for watching. See you next week and God bless Nigeria.